Mizoram has given a clear mandate to Zoram's people movement, a new political party in the state formed 6 years back. And perhaps this result is very interesting given the fact that it is not only a clear mandate, but two of the strongest political parties in the state, Congress and the regional party Mizo National Front, which emerged out of the emotions of the Mizo Accord, have been decimated. To decode this verdict of the people of Mizoram, we are now joined by Professor J. Doungel of Mizoram University, somebody who has followed Mizoram very closely. Professor Doungel, when we look at these results, uh, 27 out of 40, a clear verdict for ZPM. What are the factors that led to people this time choosing a new party? Because the political history of Mizoram shows that power has shifted between the Congress and the MNF, and this time this is a new formation which has taken charge.
Yeah, it's right, Ratnadip. From statehood since 1987, power has been exchanged between Indian National Congress and Mizo National Front. And for these many years, other than Puzoram Thanga and Pulalthan Hola, there were no other chief minister. And people have the desire for change also. And people have the desire to test what the ZPM call Kalpungthar new system and what they profess change. People have the desire to test that. And with regard to this ZPM emerged as a political combination of six political groupings in 2018, and it started as a movement. And from movement, it now transformed itself into political party. It is now registered party in the Election Commission of India, and it sooner or later it will be a new recognized political party from Mizoram now, and that is the context. And with regard to Pu Lalduhoma, he was in political wilderness for more than 20 years, and going back to Pallal Duoma, he was the first Lok Sabha MP to be disqualified. He was among the MP when anti-defection law was enacted. Then he was disqualified, and he was also disqualified again as MLA. And he was in political wilderness for more than 20 years. And now people have given him the chance to translate all his ambitions and all his slogans into action. And for how ZPM attracts the people and how ZPM influence the voters, particularly because of the slogan of Kalpungthar.
What does it
New
mean?
Kalpungthar means new system. New system in administrative reform, new system in agriculture, new system in communication and technology, and in the ZPM manifesto about 10 new systems have been elaborated. So people have high expectation upon this ZPM. And ZPM also, like Mizo National Front and other political parties, they profess Zhou unification. They are concerned for Zhou ethnic tribes across the national and international border, those Zhou ethnic tribes who face problems in Myanmar, Bangladesh, and Manipur. And ZPM also, like MNF, is so much concerned about that. And now, as ZPM has been given the chance by people, so what is that this new system? What is this new Kalpungthar? People have high expectation uh, upon this ZPM, and it is expected that let's hope that what our party has been doing in Delhi, let the ZPM perform in Mizoram also.
Yeah,
That is also the
there is this talk around that the ZPM is the northeast version of AAP. But having said that, the geopolitics in northeast is completely different. Mizoram is a state which has not been able to use its potential in terms of resources that can bring revenue. It is still dependent on center in terms of its running of the state. So this new systems that ZPM has promised, how far is it feasible in terms of implementing it, or how difficult it is without going into an alliance with BJP?
yeah, as per the manifestation of the ZPM and as per the slogan that they have advocated, ZPM, they focus on self-reliance. and uh, utilizing the internal resources. And so the Lalduhoma himself yesterday, he said that the moment his government is sworn in, he will buy four items, agricultural items. And in such a way, they have certain policy in agriculture, then in transport and communication, then in land revenue, higher education, then power and electricity, and what this new system is actually. So I think we have to wait and watch how ZPM is performing and how ZPM is pursuing and how ZPM is fulfilling this Kalpungthar or new system. Because if ZPM perform well, then another chance will be given by the people in people's mandate in the next election also. But if ZPM fails to deliver, then people may change ZPM again with the other party next time also. Let's hope and watch, because the government is yet to be formed, and this Kalpungthar also, ZPM has to implement it now. So we have to wait and watch.
So it's going to be a tough time for ZPM, not only because they're a new party, their first time coming to power, but also that they have there is a huge expectation out of them.
It is indeed a Herculean task. It is indeed a Herculean task, and ZPM has to fulfill and handle this Herculean task because people's expectations are so high. So at least they have to fulfill this expectation of the people. The promises they made and the slogan which they promised to the people, and yeah, it is indeed a Herculean task. So let's hope that ZPM may be able to deliver. People have high expectation upon the new the government which is to be formed.
People in the last election in 2018 had similar type of expectation out of MNF. Similar kind of verdict was given. Where did MNF fail that they had to face such a dismal defeat?
Yeah, Chief Minister, the outgoing Chief Minister Mizorams himself mentioned in his interview yesterday, because why MNF government could not function properly, mainly because of the effect of COVID. And due to COVID, 2-3 years we have wasted. That is the clarification of the MNF, and due to that, and there were certain incumbency that was I think that is the main factor. Over and above that, forget about the performance of the MNF. So as I've said, since statehood for the past more than 20 years, so there were no other government. Every time Congress and MNF exchange, then no other chief minister other than Pulal Thanhola and Mizoram Thanga. So people also want to experience change, and ZPM takes advantage on that, and change should be provided by ZPM. So people would like to have taste ZPM, but like how the MNF is thrown out by the people's verdict this time, if the TM is not performing, the TM also will be thrown out again in the same manner in the next election. Let's hope the TM to perform.
This brings me to a question that MNF has ridden over the emotions of the successful Mizo Accord for a long time. But this time in these elections, you have a huge chunk of young voters, which ZPM claims they have voted for them. From 18 to 40 years age group, you had 62% young voters. So there is a aspirational generation of voters. So on one side you have the old ties with Congress, it seems that the Mizo people are now forgetting the old ties with Congress and the emotions of Mizo nationalism versus the aspirational aspect of the young voters. So, do you think that that had been a major factor?
Of course, of course. See, right now, Congress is in bad shape. Congress needs to be revived. But this time, at least 3 seats are expected to be won by Congress, but Congress cannot reach even that margin also. And with regard to this MNF and ZPM, they are regional parties. And as you have said, uh, yeah, MNF, it is a nationalist party based on Mizo ethnicity. And so MNF, also, as I've said, there is no other reason. Like with regard to Zo unification and concern about Zhou people approach the national and international border also. ZPM also has the same vision with MNF. And the main, in that regard, both have similar view. But how, why people choose ZPM over MNF is the fact that they would like to test the new system and change for good. But if change for good does not happen,
Yeah, right.
fail to happen, then people verdict may change the ruling party again the next time.
But there was a lot of buzz about the Manipur issue spilling over in the Mizoram elections, and particularly the MNF. Mr. Zoram Thanga and the MNF had campaigned on it, had tried to build up a narrative in terms of how the party and the chief minister is a guardian of the larger tribe community, and how they have sheltered internally displaced people as well as refugees from Myanmar and Bangladesh. But on ground, it seems that the Manipur issue did not really uh, uh, convert it into votes for the MNF.
No, uh, that cannot be just marginalized. The reason is that, as I've said, that PM also has the same view with MNF. Then people also may have confidence that in the like manner how the previous MNF government has taken up and pursued the issue, the same thing may be done by ZPM in this regard. And that is one thing. But as I've said, the main concern is for change and for change for good and the new system. So with regard to that ethnicity and concern about the people, MNF and ZPM, they have the same view.
One last question
Hmm.
is, the BJP has won 2 seats this time.
Hmm.
You have the central government, which is BJP. You have a regional party here. There is a tendency among regional parties in the northeast to ally with the party in center, so that fund flows and coordination with center becomes easier. Do you see in the long run ZPM accommodating BJP with it in the government to have a better relationship with center? And for the BJP, it seems that Mizoram still remains one unconquered political territory in the northeast.
Exactly. The situation in Mizoram is not like any other state. So this is the peculiarity and uniqueness of the political situation in Mizoram. And with regard to the BJP, I think winning 2 seats, the BJP has already reached its zenith in Mizoram politics. And why the BJP win? The BJP win this time only because of the factor of MNF and Congress voters and MNF MNF. Then in the previous election also in 2018, the then speaker who he was a prominent politician who survived against the oath. Then as he was denied Congress ticket, he joined BJP in last minute. Then he contested in BJP ticket. It was expected that because of his own weight and experience, then BJP also might have given him ticket so that he might win. But he failed. Then history repeats itself in the same manner this time. So the speaker, Pularin Silo, he was denied MNF ticket. And in the last minute, like Puhipay of the previous term, he joined BJP, then he contested from Mamit in BJP ticket. But history repeats itself in the same manner. Then he was in the third place, nowhere. So with regard to the standpoint, actually there are main three the main three parties in Mizoram, MNF, ZPM, and Congress, they maintain equal distance from BJP. They don't want, particularly this ZPM and MNF also, they don't want to identify themselves with BJP. For example, MNF is alliance partner with BJP in national level in NDA, then in Northeast in NEDA. But inside Mizoram politics, MNF never identified itself with BJP.
Do you
So,
expect
and
ZPM?
with regard to ZPM also, so yesterday I was in the AIR studio together with ZPM General Secretary, and at that time also he said, we will not have any link with BJP. And the same thing was repeatedly mentioned by Lalduhoma himself also. So if ZPM stands to its word, I don't think they may go with BJP. And with regard to the winning of 2 MLA seats from Sheha district in southern part of Mizoram, some news channel, they said that as if the whole Mara community support. It is not that. It is not the whole community. It is due to the factors of MNF and Congress only. BJP could manage to have MLA. So this is how the situation. And due to that, BJP is nowhere in Mizoram politics, and BJP cannot make entry into Mizoram politics. And one thing which I would like to add, Ratnadip, see, some many poll predictors they predicted before election that there will be hung assembly, but I flatly rejected that. Then India today gave up to 35 seats to ZPM, but I said that was over assessment because we know the electoral history of Mizoram. In the electoral history of Mizoram, Mizo people never prefer hung assembly, and from before also there was never any hung assembly. So this time also clear mandate is given to ZPM. Let's hope that ZPM may deliver the expectation of the people.
But is there a lesson for the regional parties in Northeast from how ZPM has emerged as a big political player in their state and how it has won? Is there a lesson for the regional parties in the other Northeastern states?
Exactly. Other regional parties like in Nagaland, Manipur, Meghalaya and all, they have a lot to learn from ZPM. Even Assam also, the parent state, they have a lot to learn from ZPM. ZPM starts from nowhere and it can reach this level because of the people's movement, because of influencing the people, and because of their hard struggle.
So there you are, Professor Doungel, clearly decoding the Mizoram results for our viewers, giving us insight in terms of what went in the minds of the voters in Mizoram as they gave a clear verdict for the new political party ZPM. In Aizawl, with camera person Sanjay Chakravarti, Ratnadip Choudhury, NDTV.